The school hallway was nearly empty when Ethan Cole pushed his mop down the corridor, humming softly to himself. The hum wasn't out of happiness, it was the tune his little daughter, Mia, liked him to sing before bed. Life had been hard since his wife passed 2 years ago. Bills piled high, dreams fell low, but Ethan kept going, for her. He was the night janitor at Ridgeview High, a man of few words and quiet pride. Most people looked past him, except one. Lila Bennett, the new art teacher, had joined just 3 weeks ago. Kind eyes, but sadness lingered behind her smile. Ethan noticed how she often sat in her classroom long after everyone left, staring at unfinished canvases, lost in thought. One evening, as thunder rolled over the dark sky, Ethan found her sitting on the floor, clutching her phone with trembling hands. "Miss Bennett? You okay?" he asked softly, setting his mop aside. She looked up, eyes red. "Could you, please, pretend you love me for a moment?" Ethan froze. The words hit him like lightning. I'm sorry." She forced a weak smile. "There's a man waiting outside. My ex-fiancé. He's been following me. If he thinks I'm with someone, maybe he'll finally stop." Ethan didn't ask questions. He just nodded. "Tell me what you need." Moments later, they walked out together. Rain poured in silver sheets, the parking lot shimmering under the streetlights. Ethan slipped his hand into hers, rough, calloused, but steady. Lila leaned in close, trembling as a black SUV idled nearby. The man inside rolled down his window. "Really, Lila?" "The janitor," he sneered. Ethan didn't flinch. "That's right," he said calmly. "She's with me. You need to leave her alone." The man's jaw tightened. For a moment, it looked like he might step out, but then he revved his engine and drove off into the night. Lila exhaled shakily, tears mixing with the rain. "Thank you," she whispered. "You didn't have to." "Yeah, I did," Ethan said quietly. "Nobody should face fear alone." They stood there in silence, rain falling softly between them. Over the next few weeks, something unexpected bloomed between them, not romance, not yet, but understanding. Lila began visiting the janitor's closet with coffee for him, sometimes even a lunch packed for two. She'd talk about art, he'd talk about Mia. One evening, she painted a portrait of Ethan mopping a hallway, light streaming through the windows like hope itself. She titled it, "The Quiet Hero." When the school held its annual charity auction, the painting sold for thousands, enough to fund new art supplies and help cover the janitor's medical insurance. Everyone was shocked. The buyer? Lila herself. When Ethan found out, he confronted her after school. "Why would you spend your money on this?" She smiled. "Because people need to see the beauty in what's overlooked. You taught me that." That night, Ethan went home and tucked Mia into bed. She looked up sleepily and said, "Daddy, are you happy again?" He hesitated, then smiled. "Yeah, sweetheart. I think I am." A year later, the school's hallway still gleamed from his care, but beside his mop bucket now hung Lila's painting. Students passed it every day without knowing the full story, how one act of courage, one moment of kindness, had changed two broken lives forever. And sometimes, when Ethan passed it himself, he'd whisper under his breath, "Love doesn't always start with romance, sometimes, it starts with compassion." Even the smallest act of kindness can rescue someone from a silent storm. Love isn't always about grand gestures, sometimes, it's about simply standing beside someone when the world turns cold.